let us go to Puerto Rico and be joined by the man who's fighting Mike Tyson in about a month's time. There he is. Jake, what do you think?
Bro, honestly, you got some skill. Some skill, bro.
Come on.
It's definitely actually improved since the last time I saw you shadow box.
I'm legit doing it twice a week.
And how long have you been doing that for?
2 years. By the way, did you become Chechen or something? What's going on with the beard? It's much longer now. What's happening?
Man, I'm just letting it grow out. The side angle is crazy.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, I'm just here, bro. All I do is train in Puerto Rico, and like I don't see anybody. So like oftentimes I'm just not getting haircuts and stuff for long periods of time. But I feel like it's fitting. But I'm not sure what Chechen is. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
You know, like Hamza, they have the long beard and they have the short mustache. You know, they have always long beard and short mustache. So I feel like you were going with the Chechen look.
I thought that was like
Dagestan, Chechen. I mean, they're not actually not friends, but it's sort of like that Caucasus region. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Caucasus.
By the way, you could get someone to come to your house to cut your hair easy, like at any hour.
But there's just no point, you know. There's just no point. Like, and I hate getting haircuts because I have ADHD, and I just hate sitting in the same spot for anything longer than like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
I've always felt that it was rude looking at your phone when you're getting a haircut because I feel like the barber is insulted that you're not locked in. How do you feel about that?
No, bro. I have a big thing about this, actually. I hate when barbers try and talk to me. I hate it. I absolutely
even if it's a
hate
pal, like if you're boys with them?
That is a slightly different, but like most of the time, like it's 30 minutes for me to be on my phone and like get some work done. And I'm not trying to have like the barber shop vibe in my house. Like,
Fair.
Oh, dude. And then we're having a conversation. Then, you know, they're hanging out with the clippers for like 30 seconds talking to someone about a punch or a street fight they got into. And it's like, bro, I don't want to sit here. This cape is hot. I hate people touching my face. Like, just get this over with. And yeah, man, it's like, I feel like they think they have to talk to people because it's like how they are in the barbershop. But man, I'm not trying to be on a podcast during my haircut.
And it's not like a trip to the, you know, psychologist. Someone wants to ask you about your life, your day. Like this isn't a check-in on my life. Let's just
exactly no. And a lot of the things are like very personal. You know, it's like, oh, I seen you have a girlfriend. Like, what's that like? It's like. What's your? I don't know your name. I don't know your name. I don't know your name. Like, it is a pet peeve, and I've seen it happen many times because I go to so many different cities. So a lot of times I'm seeing barbers for the first time or trying to find someone in Paris or wherever you know, and then like it turns into an interview, and it's. Funny you bring that up.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. Here's Renan Ferreira. We're going to see him and Francis Ngannou in a moment. Before we really get into this main event, and it's great for you to join us on our very first Helwanivision. This has been a fantastic time. Sort of like Manningcast, you know, like we've been sitting here watching fights. I'm assuming you can see Renan here as well. This is top-notch stuff. I did have Alex Pereira on my show on Thursday. Did you catch wind of that? I asked him about you.
I didn't actually catch wind of that. I haven't been on social media much and like keeping tabs of the world of combat sports. I'm just so focused, and training's been harder than ever. So I'm just like, this is interesting. He just kissed the mat like that. But no, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
I mean, you could have. I mean, you just could have lied and said, "Yeah, man, that was a great interview."
That was. Ask me again.
Yeah, no. So we had Alex Pereira on my show on Thursday.
I saw that, dude.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate you because we just started this new thing here with Yahoo Uncrowned. Is a huge deal. You probably heard of
all that. That was a great interview. I saw what he said about me too.
Yeah. Okay. So here it is. Here's what Alex said when I asked him about you. Jake Paul continues to say that he would like to box you. He would like to fight you in a boxing match. When you hear this, what is your reaction, and are you at all interested in pursuing this?
O Anthony Joshua falou que gostaria de você boxear, e você escreveu, né, com quem gostaria de me ver boxear. Pô, o Jake Paul continua falando, né, que quer lutar com você e tal. O que você acha disso aí, se é uma coisa que te interessa?
Até me interessa, sim, mas, pô, todo mundo sabe que tem contrato com o UFC, então...
It's coming, I promise.
Como que faz isso, né?
Yeah, like,
Eu acho que...
It's coming, it's coming.
Tá vendo, né?
Just roll the translator.
No, I know, we probably should have done that. We screwed that up. That's on me.
E eu acho que ele sabe.
I think they thought you spoke Portuguese.
É muito difícil e tá falando.
No, it's coming. We should have dubbed it.
Evento assim que
that's an L.
The
kids would say that's an L.
Né? E pudesse lutar em qualquer modalidade.
This is the longest 30 seconds of my life.
Falando assim dessa forma, não sei.
Okay, here it comes. Here it comes.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. It's of course something that interests me, but he knows that I'm on a contract to the UFC and I cannot just leave. I think that's why he calls and he says all that. Because I think if the UFC was a league that allows everybody to fight anywhere, I don't think he'll be saying that.
Jake Paul continues. Okay, so there it is. He knows that I'm under contract.
Of course he's going to hide behind that. First of all, I don't know how many fights he has under UFC contract, and I've fought many UFC fighters who have gotten out of their contracts. So for him to say that, it's pointless. It doesn't make any sense. There's no meaning or weight behind it because I don't know how many fights he has, and he can oftentimes leave. We're watching a man right now, Francis Ngannou, who left the UFC in his prime at the height of his career. So I want Alex Pereira. They're going to duck behind shit. Fans are going to say, oh, of course he's calling him out because he's in a UFC contract. But I've beaten and starched every MMA fighter that I've boxed. And I believe I would do the same. Khalil Roundtree exposed that Alex Pereira has a weak body, isn't that good, doesn't have a high pace. And yes, he has one-shot knockout power, but boxing's a different sport. And I'm able to match his power, which a lot of guys aren't able to do. So he would have to respect me from early on. And I know I would beat Alex Pereira and shock the whole world, and that's why I want to do it.
What do you think this man is thinking right now after everything he's been through this year, Jake? Obviously, the loss to Joshua we thought was going to be the biggest setback, but pales in comparison to the personal tragedy that his family has had to endure. What do you think Francis is thinking about right now?
Man, I think he's thinking about this being his moment to prove everyone wrong, to prove to the world, who he is, that no matter, losing to Joshua and going through adversity, that's been the story of his whole career. And I think tonight he wants to remind everyone of that and to show that he is still the baddest man on the planet and to take out a very, 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 very competitive, athletic giant in Renan Ferreira. And I'm sure he's locked in. But he doesn't have an easy fight ahead of him. So I'm on the edge of my seat with this one. Like, it could end at any moment.
This is historic stuff, by the way. First time ever that we will get a true lineal MMA heavyweight champion, because right now being defended, for all intents and purposes, the Pride, Strikeforce, UFC, Bellator, and PFL title, heavyweight title on the line. Never happened before.
That's crazy. I didn't think
it's pretty
about
wild
that.
when you think of it that way, right?
Yeah, that's wild. The lineal heavyweight champion.
I actually think they should have promoted it as such. Like, Battle of Giants is cool, but like, this is historic stuff. This is once in a lifetime.
Well, honestly, though, the casual doesn't know what lineal means, though. That's the problem.
This is a big dude right here. You sat between them. You did the presser. By the way, thanks for the shout out when you did the presser. You did not bad, if I'm being honest.
Thank you. I was nervous, bro. I'm usually the guy who's getting asked the questions or like on stage, but having to like give a ton of information for 3 minutes is not easy. So props to you.
You've gained respect for the likes of me.
Yeah, trust me. I always knew it was hard, but it's even harder when you go and do it. So I always had respect, and you rattle off 15 different fighters' names and records and hometowns and stats and shit all in one press conference. So
you
definitely impressive.
You sat between them. Dare I say you were in the thick of it between them?
Yeah. Man, these guys are even bigger than they look here. And basically me standing there was pointless because me doing this as hard as I could didn't move them an inch. My plan was, because it honestly felt like they were going to start fighting based off of the things that Pereira said, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not going to get in the middle of this." But now
you weren't quite heavyweight at that point. You weren't quite where you're at right now. I have to tell you, Jake, my hand, like I'm legit. My palms are sweaty right now. Like I'm legit. I feel like, oh, Eddie Hearn. What's he doing there? We won't talk about. I'm legit nervous right now.
Yeah, me too. Like honestly, this is not an easy fight for Francis. Pereira has jiu-jitsu as well, so I think a lot of times where Francis takes his opponents down and starts the ground pound.
I'm setting the line at 1.5. Does it go past? Over, under?
Ooh, nice leg kick to start it. I think it's going to go over 1.5.
I'm going under. Oh, returns the favor.
Back-to-back leg kicks.
Yo, look at that.
So these guys have so much power.
Fucking two behemoths.
Yeah, I saw someone tweet like 3 heavyweights when it was us 3 standing together, and I was just like, bro, I'm not. Technically, I'm a heavyweight, but it is hilarious that they're so much bigger.
Nah, this isn't going 1.5. I feel something. I feel like the first punch.
It always feels like that when heavyweights are in the ring. There's like so much tension.
Oh gosh, bad intentions, Jake. This is bad intentions. This is another one. Oh, that one buckled him.
Francis is bringing in the pressure though.
Ooh, you see, he went for the takedown. Yep. Francis said, "Okay, I'm done with these leg kicks." Right.
That's an interesting strategy to go through, but also definitely smart. I think they would expect him to just stand up the whole entire time.
The Vuvuzelas are out. They were out when he fought Anthony Joshua. Can I ask you about this, Jake? I was worried for Francis's sake. He does the 2 boxing matches. That changes his style. We saw what it did to Conor, right, when he went to fight Floyd. Are you at early days here in the fight, but are you worried that may change him and affect him negatively as a fighter?
Yeah, MMA. No, I definitely was worried about that as well. Just the inactivity for 2 years. How does that translate? Boxing's such a different sport than MMA, but he comes right back in to this takedown and seems to feel comfortable in there. But maybe that was his strategy first round, just show him he could wrestle, tire him out a little bit, and then box. But when you come back from a knockout too, like this is the jiu-jitsu I'm talking about though.
Yo, going for the triangle choke. But to your point, prior to this, the last time we saw Francis coming off a loss, it changed him dramatically as a fighter. He lost to Stipe the first time he fought for the belt, and then against Derek Lewis, he was gun-shy. He never threw. And so I, too, was wondering how the knockout would change him as a fighter. We don't often see him use offensive wrestling. Against Cyril Gane, he had to dig deep because he was down 2-0. A lot of it was defensive, too. This is not a spot that we usually see Francis in.
Yeah, and if he could keep his weight on him and wear Ferreira out, that's going to be a massive advantage. These big guys probably feel so much more comfortable on feet. That ground, that's what I was saying, is the ground and pound. But
okay, now Ferreira wants nothing to do with this.
Yeah, and that's expending a lot of energy down there. So, and especially as a heavyweight. You know how hard it is to get like a giant leg like this up under you to stand up?
Yeah. Oh, man. Those are connecting. Those are connecting in a big way. This fight might be over. He's out. I think he's out. He's out. He's out, Jake.
Oh, my gosh.
He's back. Y'all must have forgot.
He's back.
Francis is fucking back, Jake. He's back. What do they say now about him? The lineal heavyweight champion of the world, the baddest man on the planet. What do they say now about him, Jake?
Man, everyone zip quiet. First ever doggy style knockout. Woo!
Hey, Jake, next month, the day after your fight at Madison Square Garden, there's John Jones versus Stipe. Those guys can't say they are the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. No way. Not when that man is winning still. And I don't care. They could take it away from him and say Renan Ferreira is in top 10. That man is a badass motherfucker.
He just made a statement, man. That's giving me goosebumps right now. Lineal heavyweight champion in MMA, the first ever, and like we've been saying, he's the baddest man on the planet. He just had to remind everyone, and boy, do I dream about him versus John Jones. But I think just like Alex Pereira fighting me, Dana's probably scared of that.
Jake, I think we're seeing a lot of emotion from Francis right now, and when you consider everything he's been through, and I would imagine he's thinking about his son Kobe right now. Look at the emotion from this man who has been unflappable and stoic throughout so much, who has overcome so much. I've never seen him this emotional.
Man, and hats off to him. A lot of times, you know, he's going to be holding in all that emotion because he has to stay focused, and when he wins, it all comes out. And his coach Dewey
Look at
there,
Dewey, yeah. This is amazing. I'm getting chills right now. Look at this. Eric Nixick is like his brother. Think about what these guys have been through.
Good for him, man. You know, he deserves
Oh
this.
my gosh, look at this.
He's a GOAT.
Jake, I was there when he got knocked out by AJ in the same exact city. That was scary stuff. He didn't move. Like Nixick and those guys ran in. He was out. To think 7 months later and everything he's been through in between, unfathomable what he's been through. To do that against that big boy that everyone's saying Francis is done, Francis is toast, he's fallen off. This is one of the great scenes of this year.
And that's the name of the game, man. A lot of people in this sport, the critics, the fans are fickle. They're quick to give up on you, but this guy's a legend, and he knows what it means to be a fighter and to come back from losses, and he's had to fight for everything in his life. It's such a cool moment, and a statement for all of MMA to leave the UFC, go to the PFL, get the money that you're deserved, make bank, and put on a statement like that against the PFL's, you know, best heavyweight. He's, you know, tens of millions of dollars richer now when he was getting paid $600K for a fight, and he just got a first round doggy style KO. God, I mean, this is peak Francis Ngannou that we're seeing here right now, and I'm just so happy for him.
And by the way, Jake, not mentioned enough, Ferreira got $2 million for this. Part of the deal was that your opponent gets paid as well. That's what he wanted, right? Part of the deal was, I don't want my opponent to make $100,000 to fight me. And I think people don't give him enough credit for that.
No, exactly. And you know, that's what this is all about for Francis, is helping other fighters. And that's why him and I have connected so much, is the bigger vision of how he wants to help the world and help fighters, and to prove a point that PFL is the best place for MMA fighters to get what they deserve. And it's cool to see him, you know, maybe take a little bit less pay, to see another guy like that get paid more than he ever would in the UFC for a fight like this.
I'm supposed to be a journalist, and I try to keep it real, but I do have to say, I am so happy for this man right now, and nothing can take away what he's been through this year. Nothing can make it better, can rectify it. But man, Francis to me is just a good human being, and when you get to know him and you get to learn about his heart and what he stands for and what he believes in. Remember, there was once a time, Jake, when he left the UFC and everyone said he fucked up by just doing that. Even before signing with PFL, even before getting the Tyson fight, even before getting the AJ fight, that it was the biggest mistake. He fumbled the bag, Jake. Look at this man now.
Yeah.
He fumbled the bag.
No, that's why I'm so happy for him, is because above all else, fighters go through so much, and oftentimes they're, you know, taken advantage of or not paid what they're supposed to. I mean, that's Amanda Serrano's story. And so to see him shine in this moment on a big stage, after being inactive, getting knocked out, you know, what happened with his son, he's a legend, bro. He just solidified himself with this performance, and I'm excited to see what's next. I don't know, man. It only gets bigger from here.
I would like for him to stick with MMA for now, see where he can take this, see what he can do in the PFL, see who they can get for him. That's going to be a big challenge, no doubt about it. There aren't a ton of options at heavyweight. I would like to see his next fight, whenever he fights again, be in MMA. You?
Yeah, no, I think so as well. I think he already did, you know, the biggest of the biggest in boxing, and now seeing him in, you know, his natural habitat and doing what he does best, being the baddest man on the planet in mixed martial arts.
Well done, Francis. Well done. We're going to hear from him in a second here. I'm curious to hear the emotion in his voice. Can't imagine how he's feeling. The last time we saw him draped with the belt was January of 2022. The last time he fought in MMA, January of 2022. That's almost 3 years ago. And here he is. Francis Ngannou, Le Prédateur. Let's listen in.
Francis, congratulations, my friend. I can only imagine what's going through your mind. A month ago, I asked you if you got a win tonight, how you thought it would feel. You said that you could not even predict it. How does this moment feel to you right now?
I don't know. I can just think about anything. Then my son Kobe, I only take this fight because of him. I wanted to fight for him at one time. And I'm done. So I don't know. I hope they can remember his name, because without Kobe, we wouldn't be here tonight. I wouldn't have fight. But thank you everyone for coming. And thank you for Saudi Arabia. Thank you for Riyadh. To be a great host, to always having us here, taking good care of us. For the people here, very lovely, supporting. I think today I have more than a fan base in Saudi. I think in Riyadh I have what I could call in another way, a family. Thank you guys.
Francis, you are no stranger to difficulties and challenges in your life. After what you just described, I don't think many other human beings can even picture walking out with that on their mind. What was it like for you to walk to this cage tonight?
He was tough. He's been tough. The past, I think, not only the training camp was tough, but the past 2 days were very tough, full of emotion. Couldn't do anything without thinking about it. I mean, I'm trying to say I will be strong, tell myself everything to keep moving, but it's hard, man. It's just hard.
Well, Francis, for the fight itself, you hadn't been in an MMA cage for 2 years. You were in a boxing ring. It did look like you missed a step. How comfortable did you feel out there with all of your weapons at hand?
No, I knew I didn't miss a step. I wasn't worried about it, because as soon as I walked in the gym for MMA, I knew that everything was still there. It was just about me being able to manage my emotion, deal with life separately, not mix up stuff. So that's basically what I was about. I've been working on. And yes, we're here. I think we finally get the result. Thank to my team, for my family, everybody that been around here. Some of them are stripped, and they which been away from their family for almost 2 months to support me in my crazy journey, to my crazy dream, which has no limit. Sometimes I don't know if my dream even has sense, but here we are. Thank you guys.
Well done.
You said all along that you are a full mixed martial artist.
Oh.
Did you envision taking this fight to the floor, or was that something that you saw when you got out there?
Jake, the way this is like being shot, it almost feels like a movie, right? Like it almost feels like this is like the closing scene of a movie.
So that means
It really does.
So
you can feel the emotion.
that was
there.
definitely a hard shot. Not
Just the setting, everything about it. It just
since the opportunity
the real
was
man. I got chills
I was
on the back of my neck. Man, this guy.
come my way.
You just gotta love him, man. Shout out to Francis and Kobe.
Last year's PFL champion. How will you decide
Man.
your next move?
Oh, let's listen to this. This is the next step.
I think my next move in combat sport is all depend on me, how I feel, how I deal with my life right now. But otherwise, I think I always thought like I still had a lot to give in the combat sport, and hopefully I keep thinking that way. I keep that thought alive.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Last thing I want to have for you is, I know that this night was not about belts. It was not about money. It wasn't even to an extent about you. It was about Kobe. So I want the final thing for you to say is just what do you want to say about your son tonight?
Well, I just want to say, please remember my son Kobe, and then I dedicate this for him. This for Kobe. Thank you.
Thank you you so much, Francis. Sean, back to you.
Well done. Well done. That was incredible stuff, and happy we got to watch it together, Jake. Amazing, amazing, amazing scenes here in Riyadh. And when you consider, again, 7 months ago, this guy was knocked out brutally cold in that same city. For him to come back after everything he's been through. His life is a movie. Someone needs to make that movie, like not the documentary of it. Like it's an actual, like theatrical movie that can be made, and it still would seem unreal.
For sure. Someone needs to turn it into a scripted movie. 1,000%, man. Like it's just as good as Rocky, if not better.
Oh.
You know, he's a modern day hero, modern day Rocky, and I'm sure, hey, Hollywood, let's make it happen. You know, this guy has a gnarly story.
He's crossing the desert 6 times. He's almost dying. He's getting put in jail. Insane stuff. You're doing something insane in a month against Mike Tyson. A little less than a month, I should say. But here we are. I saw the video of you sparring recently. Do we get an official prediction? Do we have something in our mind? Do we have a thought that keeps creeping in? What are we feeling as November 15th is rapidly approaching?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough first 3 to 5 rounds. I think I can finish him in rounds 5 or 6 is what I've been feeling. And yeah, I know he's going to bring, the old Mike Tyson back, and he's got the weight advantage. He's looking thick, doing his neck workouts. But we're training hard, man. This is the hardest I've gone for a fight. I'm absolutely dialed in, and I'm feeling really good, feeling really sharp, feeling really powerful, dropping 300-pound heavyweights in sparring. And, I think that's what's going to happen on fight night.
How much you weigh right now?
I'm like 225.
How much do you think you'll weigh on the Friday before, or the Thursday before, because it's a Friday fight?
I'll probably just stay right here. I'll probably be 225.
Okay. All right. Well, can't wait for it. I look forward to seeing you out there. Should be a fun time. This was a fun time. Thanks for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again, brother. Always good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jake. All the best. There he is, Jake Paul, returning to action on November 15th. But for now, the story, of course, is that man, Le Prédateur. First guest ever in the history of the new era here. And, well, I hope I get to speak to him very soon, because he continues to inspire. He continues to blow us away. He continues to be an unbelievable story, and he continues to be the story. Whether it's MMA or boxing these days, he continues to be the story. A lot of people doubted him going into this fight, considering everything he's been through, considering the knockout loss, considering the unfortunate passing, the tragic passing of his son, Kobe. But here he is. Doubt this man at your peril. Y'all must have forgot. Francis Ngannou, still the baddest mother effer on the planet. That's the real BMF champion. That guy right there